EU has approved it okay to shoot down Russian jets, and Trump is recalling generals from all over the world. What is going on?
Business owner, educator, and lifelong observer of politics and economics, making sense of complex issues.
Is there going to be an all-out war with Russia? No. This is from the same guy that said, is Russia going to invade Ukraine? No, when that all started. So I guess the end of this video is, I don't know. But what we have here is a situation where the EU has really upped the ante. They've been, I don't know if they've just been saying it lately, whether it's always been happening, or whether they're, whether they're just reporting it now. But all these sudden announcements of encroachments, of drones here and fighter jets flying here, and things going across the borders, as if to say that Russia seems to be testing the boundaries. I wonder whether it's the EU testing their populations as to whether they're war weary or actually ready to go into something bigger. Who knows? But what we do know, these are the facts, that the EU is now much stronger, together, motivated, willing to do something about Russia. We also know that Ukraine is not prepared to give up any territory. I thought that might have been possible. And we also know that Trump and Putin have not, had the relationship that they thought they had to get to a reasonable conclusion to this. So given those things, what we have now is a Korea-style stalemate. And it may well be that we end up with an armistice, a cessation, and then a political resolution coming later. Or there continues to be skirmishes, and this is probably the most likely outcome, is that there will continue to be skirmishes. They will heat up from time to time. There might be some, India-China type skirmishes at the borders with various countries. At worst case scenario is a Russian jet is shot down, and then there will be some brinkmanship. I will go back to what I said at the start, that I don't think there would be an all-out war with Russia. Although, as I say that out loud, I think there are probably some people that in Europe that would be prepared to do this, because I do remember hearing some statements like something like, this has to be sorted out once and for all. The threat of Russia has to be dealt with. We have to finish this. These were some of the statements I remember hearing and reading a few months ago. So at worst, we have some skirmishes, and at best, we have an armistice coming. And given that Kyiv won't give up any territory, given that the Russians won't withdraw, the only real plausible outcome there is that hostilities cease, but no territory is returned and no territory is given. It ends where it ends, and then negotiations start. And hopefully that is the outcome that we get, and we may see that 6 months, 12 months away. It was my position, once the whole thing did start, that it would end with something like a demilitarized zone. Once it was established that Ukraine was not going to fall, and once it was established that Russia was not going to give up, and then the Europeans and the Americans were definitely on the side of Ukraine, and the stalemate was certain. I actually thought, this is another place I was wrong, that when Trump came in, that's what would happen, that this would be the outcome, that he was saying that he would be able to fix this, and that's what it would result in, a demilitarized zone. I've come to that conclusion again, even though things have considerably changed, because it seems most likely, given that Europe is prepared to place a force inside Ukraine on that border. And even though that wouldn't be a NATO force, it would be a European force. That would mean that there would have to be a buffer zone where the Russians would also be located, and then you would have a classic DMZ type situation. All in all, it's it's a really tragic case of, I guess, both sides underestimating the other, and it's a struggle for identity on both sides. It's it's a classic war for territory, resources, and self-preservation. It has all the elements of a classic war scenario, and where it stands now, it has all the classic conditions for a Korea type armistice. Not an end, but something like it. This is Lang Standard.
If you're still here, honestly, you have no idea how much it helps if you subscribe. I'll keep these coming.